Okay, so today the plan is to make DJ's drift car drift.
True. Bought a 390 Diff off a dude. Shout out dude. And our buddy Jake, the dude who fronted the money to buy the e36, welded my Diff for me. And so, wait, let's go check it out. It wasn't the best of conditions, so there's like still some slag and shit in there. I'm gonna try to like chip out and stuff before we put it in, but it's pretty thick ass welded. It's just like chunked up and chunked. So it's just like tacked here and then thick as fuck over there. The other side is much better. Now she's chooching. Oh, god damn.
Put it in the car and then spin it and take it out and show them.
Look how thick that bitch is. She's thick. She weldy.
It will do skids.
Oh, it will do skids. Yeah, I brought the pop-up tent and a propane heater, so that's dope. Pop up this pop-up. Oh, but that's not it. So really for me today, the goal is to finish my car. We'll see how far we get, but I mean, I have in this car and in that car, I have everything to just finish it. My goal today is to do a donut in this driveway.
Hell yeah.
So we're doing the Diff first, obviously.
Really quick, I'll talk about the 86. I ordered those parts from Techno Toy Tuning, and the intermediate shaft that I'm getting from them so that I can run that manual rack is not in stock, so they're making one right now for me. And then once they get that done, they'll send it out. But they just shipped out the bushings because I called them and I was like, yo, this has been a while since my order has been placed and I haven't got my stuff yet. So they sent me the bushing real quick, but I'm not gonna be able to do anything with that until I get the intermediate shaft. I did get a new battery for the car and I got the hubs and the bearings and all that shit figured out, so it starts, and I drove it the other day, so pretty exciting. And once we can just work on all getting everything ready to go, then we'll make a video on it.
We got gear oil specific RTV for the gasket around this. People probably try to fight me because I'm not using a real gasket. Fight me.
We did that on the S13 too.
Yeah, everybody does this, but whatever. Anyway, people always, if you do something, someone's gonna tell you why it's wrong. I'm gonna wipe it out the best I can, get as much shit out of there as possible.
Fill her up.
And I think I'm gonna be a smart boy about this. I think I'm gonna fill it up while it's sitting vertical, and then RTV it, bolt it on, keep it vertical, let the RTV cure while we get the diff out of the car that's already in there.
You're supposed to let it cure overnight, but fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that. I was gonna say I'm not gonna go rip skids in it right away, but
We've got a nice private driveway.
Yeah. I just want to get the big solid stuff out of here. Like there's.
We hope you guys are enjoying this ASMR rainfall.
Yeah. Working on the e36. E36 is German for Big Dick Club. And when you do this, when you put in a freshly welded diff, there's gonna be slag, like pretty much no matter what, even if it's super clean. So you put in the diff, you run it for a drift event, or if it's a street car, like 100 miles or so, and then you wanna change the oil. Like you don't wanna put that off, you don't wanna wait, because it can really fuck up your diff. And like you spend all that time paying your like buddy $50 to weld your diff or whatever.
Or do it yourself.
Or you did it yourself. Yeah. And then you go and blow it up. So the garage situation never happened.
We built one.
We built one. We're under a pop-up. So we were reading on the E36 forums on how you're supposed to fill this diff, and apparently you're supposed to... Oh shit. Gear oil. I love gear oil. I have a pair of pants I can never wear again because they're covered in gear oil. I sure do love 80, 90 gear oil.
Why do you still have those pants?
I made that situation up for the video. It's called content. So it takes about 1.25 quarts, according to the internet. Get the fuck out that tube. I say get the fuck out that tube. Also, in a pinch, you can use this as a toothpaste. Yep. Oh my god, I'm cutting the thicker bitch off this. Yeah. You want to make sure your bolts never come out. while that cures overnight for the next 20 minutes, we're gonna take the diff out of that bitch.
So we got the E36 under the tent, but the battery on the camera's dying. So I'm gonna go plug that in, and when I feel it is charged up enough, I'll bring it back and we'll see where we're at.
Okay, so this has sucked so far really bad. Okay, so we got the car in the air. Have fun out there in the rain. We got the car up in the air, and then from there, we realized instantly that in order to unbolt the diff, we had to take the sway bar off. So in order to take the sway bar off, we had to pull the coilovers out to get behind them to undo the bolts. Luckily, we have a quick release exhaust, so we just pulled that down and then got the sway bar out. So sway bar's out. All the bolts that mount the diff in are out except for the driveline and the axle bolt. So it's just hanging from the driveline and the axles right now. And he ran and got this E10 socket, which I hope is the right size. We haven't tried it out yet. Could be an E12, but
Could be an E36.
it could be an E36. So next is just axles and driveline, and the diff is out.
And the
but
diff
it's
is in.
just pissing rain and it's cold, and I got E36 dust in my eyes, and I'm just so fucking over this shit. This is the worst. Oh no, don't you fucking do that.
Okay, so we got the first axle bolt undone.
Oh my god.
This is really bad. This is like probably the worst thing we've ever had to do. Just because like we have to lay on this wet ass ground and our feet are getting soaked while we're under here.
It's so cold out.
Yeah, and it's freezing.
This is the day that I carved out of the week to hang out with my girlfriend, and she's watching me hate my life. That's what's happening. How's it going, Kat? I said I promise we will get a bagel. We'll get one and share it.
All right, so we're back under the tent. It's a new day. Yesterday we were not able to finish everything. So we're back today, and we're gonna try to at least get the welded diff in. I got a dentist appointment at 1, and I don't think DJ has anything going on, but it'll be tough to do one-man job. So we're gonna try to get that done real quick, rip a skid, and then I'm gonna go to the dentist.
We joked about how that was gonna cure all night, and it actually did.
Yeah, it actually did, so that's good. All right, so both the axles are out.
Yeah, so it's ready to just drop out, in theory. So let's get out from under here and try to wiggle it loose. So currently, the diff is like halfway out and it's completely stuck. And we've been working on it for like probably 15-20 minutes now. And it sucks, so we're gonna jack this leverage and try to just pry it out. Well, Quentin had to go to the dentist. I ran up to the store, bought gas for the 4Runner, and a set of pry bars. So your boy pretty much got the diff out. It's like final stages now. Just wiggling and jiggling. So a problem I didn't foresee or notice, is that the drive shaft is so attached to the diff at the studs. For some reason it's studs instead of just bolts and nuts, that it's pulling out of the transmission. Pry bar magic, shit fell right out. All right, so it's day 3 of a 2-hour job.
Maybe we do a skid today.
I hope we do a fucking skid today. If we don't do a skid today, I will be so butthurt. This week has been fucked. Like,
Yeah.
I just hate this week because of this.
Yeah.
This should not have taken more than 2 hours to do, and it's day 3. A lot of that is just because we only have a couple hours a day to work on the car before.
Yeah, it's not like it's taking 48
yeah,
hours.
we haven't been working on this straight. It's just like
It's been like 2 hours a day.
I could only see it from the back, so I couldn't see all the way up to the transmission. So if there's a way we can get the drive shaft in there without unbolting the exhaust, I'll be stoked. I could help feed it from the back, maybe. Okay, update. It's not disconnected at the transmission. It's disconnected at the center bearing. So we still have to take the exhaust off. Quentin says we have to take it off at the headers, which sucks, but I guess that's what we'll do now.
Well, my times under there sucked. I had to pull a bunch of bolts from the headers to the exhaust. There was 5 there. There should have been 6, but that makes it easy for me. Had to pull like a weird bar thing that goes from one side to the other, kind of like a sway bar, but not. And then now we can see the drive shaft, so we can put it back in. And finally put the diff in.
Once the drive shaft is back in, we can drop the front end and just start putting the fucking diff in. It's pretty hard to film under there, so we kind of just didn't. Plus, we're also like working and it's grubby and shit.
There's no room.
There's no room. There's no room to breathe, let alone film. So we didn't film under there, but we got the drive shaft back in.
It's so miserable. Like, I go to work in the morning and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to go home and do this shit.
This is the first time in the whole time we've been working on this car that it wasn't pissing rain.
Yeah.
But the ground is still covered in the last 3 days rain.
No one look at this.
Yeah. Honestly, it made putting this diff in a lot easier.
Yeah.
So
the diff is pretty much mocked up and basically in. Everything's lined up. It was way easier to get in than it was to get out because we're not dumbasses anymore.
well,
Yeah.
we know how to do this now. It's not done, but I can technically say that the diff is in.
Yeah, now we need to jack up the axle or the hubs and stuff so the axles line up flush with the diff. Pretty much everything is done except for the suspension and the axles.
So yeah, it's just we move on to the axle bolts. So in order to do the axle bolts, we have to jack up each of the hubs so that we can get the axles at the right angle that we can access the bolts. Otherwise, the axle itself is in the way of the bolt.
Yeah.
So that's the next step. Let's do that. So it's 6 bolts on each axle. A quality tip from people who have done this a couple times, not that you'd be able to tell by this video. You definitely want to make sure that your axles are in.
What?
No, what? No, there was more to that sentence. No, I meant you want to have your axles in before you start really finalizing shit and bolting things together, because you could, and we have, ended up getting everything in together and then trying to do the axles last, and that they just don't go in because like they have little lips on them that have to be in and all that shit. So just put your axles in as early as possible, even if just like loosely, like hand tight.
What? We didn't do that though.
Yeah, but axle bolts are done, which means all we have to do is put the sway bar back on, which is like 2 bolts, and then jack up each axle so that we can put the top hat bolts on the struts. So basically just sway bar and struts back in, and she's done. We can drop it, do a skid in the driveway. I have to leave for school. I have to be in class in an hour.
We'll finish up tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll finish it up. It'll take half an hour tomorrow tops. So happy to finally have this shit out of the way and done. This has legitimately ruined my week. So all right,
Yep.
See you tomorrow. Remember on the first day when I said hopefully we'll get everything done on the whole car in one day? If this took the regular amount of time to do, if we didn't fuck everything up and we got it done like in an hour or so, we could have. So the sway bar's in, it was 4 bolts. Then all we gotta do is jack these up and get the strut tops into the strut towers.
Finishing touches.
Yeah, really icing on the cake. A cherry on top. This is ready, we just gotta throw wheels on it.
Yep. Alright, so we're finally pretty much done. Just gotta clean up this spot a little bit. After 3 days, she's going back on the ground. 4 days? I don't know.
Moment of truth, this is what we've been waiting for. I get to finally test it out. And if it blows up, I don't care.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do. Dude, I was thinking
Let it warm up for a bit.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't want to let it warm up for too long because the exhaust will catch something on fire. Sounds healthy.
Oh, yeah!
Stopped working quite as well, but
it's just loud.
It is so loud. Even in here, it's really loud. I want to hit that little roundabout that trash can's in the way. I was like, that's why I backed up twice. It's because I backed up right into it and I was like, shit.
Go move it.
Okay. reverse. Look at the shift knob.
Dope.
I know, right? I have a drift car now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Kind of fun.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's pretty stiff, so it's like nice.
Yeah, it's so loud.
Yeah.
It's fun. I didn't realize how loud it was from inside.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Couple days worth of work.
A couple. But yeah, pretty much.
Alright, so that's probably gonna do it for this video.
I have a drift car now.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, it's all small stuff. Oil change, spark plugs, coil pack, bolt in the harness, maybe figure out a passenger seat situation. I just gotta measure the floorboard, and honestly, I've said it 1,000 times in videos, but I'm just gonna try to order a sheet of steel that's the right size and then drill holes in it, because it looks super flat, so I think that might work.
Then we're taking it to the track and doing tantos.
Oh yeah, dude. First try. No angle. No skill.
Cool. See you in the next video.